Hello, this is Edward, aka Edius with Sword and Fortress. We're going to go over the two starting armies for the Crusade stuff that we're going to be putting out soon. For this one, we've got our Custodies, led by Shield Captain, two squads of Custodies with Storm Shield Sentinel Blades. Got 2 units of Sisters of Silence, Prosecutors, and Judicators, I think. I'll correct myself when I go over the rosters later. A unit of Wardens, and the Transport, the Graf Transport from Fort World. And then on the Death Guard side of the Crusade battle, we have a Lord of Virulence, a Plague Caster, a Noxious Flightbringer, a Tallyman. We then have 2 squads of Plague Marines. The first one is with a Aspiring Champion with Power Fist and Plasma Gun, even though it shows Pistol, Blight Launcher, Melta, Flail, and Icon. A second squad with Power Fist, Demonic Blade, Plasma Gun, and then Bolters. All of these wonderfully painted by my wife. We've got a unit of 20 Poxwalkers that she did kind of in a Joker theme. It was Joker or Hulk. And then some work in progress. We've got some Blight Shroud Terminators. Back over here, we're borrowing a Hellbrute from the Black Legion. So he's a plagued Hellbrute. Then we're also bringing in the new terrain piece. And that is a Miasmic Malignifier, something. Okay, for our 40k Crusade, we actually use the Beard Bunker's online G-Sheet that allows you to track your Crusade forces. It's so much easier than other stuff I've found, or tracking it pen and paper. You can check out your order of battle, gives you all kinds of details, also all of your units. Then you can go through in each one of your units. You can set up and track with all of your stuff. So we're going to go ahead and begin with the Custodies units. I'm calling them Shields of the Emperor. 50 supply limit. We've used 48. I don't go by points. We have used some requisitions to begin with. So in going into this first battle, we've got our Custodies with 3 requisition points. We've got our Shield Captain Arturus, first group of Guardsmen. The second group of Guardsmen are 2 Sisters, the Carrier, and some Wardens. So the Shield Captain of Arturus, he's got a Storm Shield, Misericordia, Sentinel Blade, obviously doesn't know any psychic powers, Warlord trait Revere Champion, Relic, Remnant of Sorrows. That I'm really looking forward to using because it's basically the Custodies version of Ancients for Space Marines, allowing downed guys to shoot or fight again. And then you can go through here, battles fought, battles survived, all of the cool stuff you normally track. Our first group of Custodians, basic loadout, Storm Shield, Misericordia, Sentinel Blade. Second group, Sister Prosecutors, those are the nice chicks with the bolt guns. Sister Vigilators, they are the nice chicks with the big swords. Our insanely powerful troop transport that can only carry 6 Custodies, but hey, right now that's all we need. And then our Wardens, which are running with the Castellan Axe. And then we've got our Death Guard Crusade. We've used a lot more requisition points to begin with in this one. We're down to just 1 requisition point at the start of the battle. So we increased the supply limit. This way we could bring in that Miasmic Malignifier. And then our leader has got the twin, let's go ahead and change that, Twin Plague Spewers. His Warlord trait is Shamble Rot. We'll get more into that when we look at the battles. He's got Infected Remains for his Relic, which means he can take an objective once per battle and make it to where it's stinky too. Let's just put it that way. And then other upgrades and abilities, we've got it to where his weapon has acidic malady. So there was 3 Crusade points right there. Our Malignant Plague Caster just has Gift of Plagues. Our first Plague Marine squad, you got your Plague Champion, your Blight Launcher Flail, Icon Melta. Our first Pox squad of 20 Poxwalkers. A lot won't be tracked on these guys just because they're a horde force and they're not allowed to track a lot of stuff. We've got our second set of Plague Marines, our Shroud Terminators, our Fetid Virons group, which is that next Noxious Flightbringer and Tallyman. The Plagued Hellbrute, he's got his Hammer and Twin Las Cannon. And the Miasmic Malignifier, which is that terrain piece. And I'm actually really kind of scared about what that Miasmic Magnifier does. Okay, so that is our Crusade list. So, on our order of battle, we're going to do a combat patrol for our first mission. So we'll do 25 power level. We've got to bring the big guy, the caster. We're up to 12 power level. We got to bring some Plague Marines and then some Poxwalkers, and that will be it for the 25 power level for the Death Guard. And then for Custodies, our 25 power level, we've got the Shield Captain. We're also going to bring some Vigilators, the first group of Wardens, or first group of guard. Wow, this is why you don't record late at night. The first group of Custodies, and we'll actually even go ahead and bring that second group of Custodies. So that'll bring us up to 24 power level, and we will, let's see, we've got 2 Crusade points for the Custodies and 3 Crusade points for the Death Guard. So the Custodies will start with 1 extra command point. Alright, and as part of the Crusade for the Death Guard, you get to create your own disease. Yes. Alright, so for the first one, we are going to roll for our vectors. That is a 5, which is Hemorrhaging. At the end of your movement phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 3 inches of the Plague Carrier models from your army, and on a 4-up, that unit is contaminated. That's nice. Infections. 5. Disease. Each time an attack is made with a plague weapon against a contaminated unit, a non-modified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds the target. That's pretty disgusting. And Terminus is a 4, which is Cis. Any number of contaminated units can perform the following action as described in the 40k core rulebook. Decontamination. At the start of your movement phase, a contaminated unit can start to perform this action. The action is completed at the end of the movement phase. When the action is complete, roll a 1d6, and on a 2-up, they are no longer contaminated. So this should be an interesting little disease, and you can always spend virulence points to make more units plague carriers, or even change up this if you want. I think I might try and go for a different infection later on. But yeah, so there's our custom disease for this Crusade. Okay, here's our combat patrol for our 2 Crusade forces, our Custodies, and our Death Guard. Now we're going to go ahead and see what our first mission is. It is going to be a combat patrol, rolling on a d6. 5, which is Assassinate. Let's see what that does. Okay, so for Assassinate, an army without its commanders is helpless, a beast ready for slaughter. An elite enemy force has been dispatched with the intent of eliminating the enemy command structure as quickly as possible, therefore disrupting the war effort in the area so that rapid gains can be made. So the mission rules are that the defender, and we haven't rolled yet, their warlord has to be set up within 6 inches of that deployment zone. Can't be set up in reserves. And then if the warlord's slain, it's done. The battle's over. For the defender, they get restoratives, which allows them to have a 6-up feel no pain. And then also at the end of the turn, they regain 1 wound. And then the attacker gets to choose who goes first. Mission objectives, the progressive for the attackers is they score 10 victory points at the end of the battle round if the enemy warlord lost any wounds. And then at the end of the game, they get 40 points if the warlord is eliminated. For the defenders, they score 10 victory points if the warlord destroys any models. And then bloodied but unbound, if the defender's warlord is not destroyed at the end of the battle, the defender scores 50 victory points. And then the victor's bonus is that after the battle, whoever wins, they get to pick a unit. It must be one that is capable of getting battle rights, and they get a battle trait of our choice. Okay, both armies have selected their agenda. Now, normally you would do this in secret, but since I'm playing against myself, I'm not that good at lying to myself. So the Custodies have chosen Kingslayer. If a unit from your army destroys the enemy warlord, they gain 3 experience points. If for whatever reason he gets rezzed, it doesn't count till you kill him again. For the Death Guard, they are doing Turn Their Hope to Rot. So very similar on both sides, especially with this mission being Assassinate. If you select this agenda, then after both sides have finished deploying, select one enemy unit with the highest power rating in your opponent's army. At the end of the battle, if that unit's been destroyed by a Death Guard unit, that Death Guard unit gains 3 experience points and you gain 1 virulence point. Okay, so there we go for agendas. Now let's see. Select agendas, we'll create the battlefield, and then let's go ahead and do the roll off to see who's attacker, who's defender. So we've got these nice green dice. There we go. So gold dice for Custodies, blue-green for Death Guard. Who is attacker, who's defender? Ooh, Custodies win. And for the thematic of it, they're actually going to choose to be defender. Okay, here's the battlefield setup for this combat patrol. Keeping it nice and open with just a little bit of cover, but we want these guys to be able to just start smashing into each other. And now the Custodies did choose to be defender, so we got from the center of the battlefield down, so all of this for the Custodies to pick up on, and then The Death Guard's coming in over there. And we'll go ahead and start setting up deployment. All right, and with that, deployment is complete. We see the Custodian Guard huddled up against some fortification, some Sisters of Silence hiding out on theirs, but trying to be close enough to help out with the Psychic. We got the Shield Captain and the second. Oh no, I think that's the first. Yeah, that's the first Custodian Guard unit and the Shield Captain. And facing them, we have the 20 Poxwalkers, the Lord Virulent, the Malignant Plaguecaster, and then 5 Plague Marines. And with that deployment, we then go into Death Guard turn 1. Okay, in Death Guard turn 1, command phase, we gain a command point, bringing them up to 4. And that is pretty much it in the command phase. We then go ahead and move on to the movement phase. Okay, and after that movement, we just see Death Guard all nice march up in a line. We then go to Psychic Phase. So the first psychic power we're going to try and see get off from this Malignant Plague Caster is the Gift of Plagues. Because why not? He can cast 2 and only has 2. So it goes off on a 6, and it will add 6 inches to his range of his contagion abilities. Doesn't do much this first turn, but why not? Alright, with the 6, he would normally get it, but unfortunately, he's within 18 inches. We'll double check. Definitely within 18 inches. Oh yeah. So, he's within 18 inches of the Sisters of Silence, so this gut does not go off, which doesn't really hurt things. Then he's going to go for Smite. Now that does go off even with the Sisters of Silence -1, and the closest unit, let's see, so that's just over 12. That's just over 12, so they actually tie out. So he's going to choose to go after the sisters who just said, nope, no good. Now the Custodies are going to spend a command point for Spark of Divinity. Oh, within 12 inches. And they were just outside of 12 inches. Never mind. So it goes off, dealing 3 mortal wounds. Oh, man. That is rough. So, immediately, 3 sisters just died. Alright, next we go into the shooting phase. Starting off with, we're going to start with the big guy with his contagion ability. He's got 12 inches. So he can barely hit there, and he can't hit sisters. So he's going to go ahead and shoot over here at these guys. It automatically hits, so we don't have to worry about that. So now then, we're going to get 2d6 shots for 4. Ooh, and I don't think you can re-roll that anymore. Yep, you can. So we actually will re-roll that, dropping that down to 3. There we go. 10 shots. 6, 10. So they automatically hit. Custodians are at toughness 5 because they're not within range of any of the contagions. So we go to 4s. Rerolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. Wow. Only 1 needed to reroll. And that one still fails. So that is 9 shots at AP -2. Because he does have the acidic malady. So that goes to 3 up shots. 3 up invulnerables here for these guys. And they do get all of it but 1. It is a plague weapon, so he takes 1 damage, bringing that down to 2. Alright. That kind of sucks. Alright, the Malignant Plague Caster can't shoot at anything. Our Plague Marines. So, they really can't see much. So, Plasma Gun is at 16-inch range, 18-inch range, and Blight Launcher is at 20-inch range. So let's see. Melt-A-Gun won't be able to shoot. Blight Launcher can. and Plasmacon can, and then Bolter can. Okay, so starting off with the plasma gun. Why not? Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Nothing! Okay, our bolter. Our bolt gun. Hitting on 3s. 1s. Re-rolling. And that is a 6. That does hit. Ah! We just killed all of our Custodies. Okay, wounding on a 2 at least. Oh my god. Ones. How many ones could Ed roll? Alright. So that now puts us at the Malefic Blight Launcher. Or the Blight Launcher. Salt 2. Getting on 3s. Another 1. A 2, but we do hit. Strength 6 minus, so we're looking at 2s. Does hit. It's a -2, which puts it to where the sisters have a 5-up save. Another 1. Wow. And that kills that sister. At the end of turn 1 shooting, the sister squad is down to 1 sister superior. And we did get 1 wound in on this Custodian. And we then go into the charge phase, which I don't foresee much happening here. Alright, turn 1 Custodians. We get a command point, bringing us up to 4. Oh, we've got to do a morale phase. Sorry. So she lost 4 guys. She has a leadership of 9. So that's an 8. She does not run. Yes, that sister stays. That sister is a badass. Losing all of her friends and she still won't run away. With all these poxwalkers coming near. Alright, so now we will go to movement phase for Custodians. Alright, at the end of the movement phase, we see the shield captain and the first unit of Custodians hook up with that Sister of Silence after they took casualties. Get ready to charge in there. And our second group of Custodians looking to face off against some Plague Marines. So the downside is they're both melee and then we lose toughness on Custodians. But first, we'll go into the shooting phase. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start with these units of Custodians shooting in there. They have their Sentinel Blade, 2 shots each. They are not within 6 inches, so it is going to be hitting on 2s. We got all of them. Now, wounding on 5s because it is only strength 4. Wow. All right, we've got 4 5s and a 6. So that is 0 AP, which gives these Plague Marines a 3-up save. So 2 do go through, and it is only 1 damage each. So 1 guy dies and we'll call it the Blight Launcher, because he's quickly going to be out of favor here soon. All right. Then we go over to these guys. They've got to shoot into the Poxwalkers. So, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. Good thing, because yet another 1, and it goes back into a 1. Then we are wounding on 4s. Strength 4 versus Toughness 4, if I'm correct. 4 Poxwalkers. Toughness 4, yep. Okay. So, Poxwalkers on a 6-up, feel no pain, kind of. One of them does do it, so we lose 2 Poxwalkers. We'll pick these 2 over here. So, the Custodian's starting to thin the ranks. The Sister does not have anything, but the Shield Captain does. He hits on both, wounding on 4s. Another 1. Get another bug off my table. Okay, so 1 wound. Poxwalker ignores it because, wow. All right. We then go into the charging phase. And we will see some charges come down the road. Okay, we'll start with the good and easy charge. They're going to charge into here. Death Guard will spend a command point for the Overwatch. So, let's see if they make it first. With the 5, they most assuredly do. Alright, so overwatching on the plasma gun. Overcharging, because why not? Nothing. Melt-a-gun. Nothing. Bolt gun. We do see 1 hit, and they now are within an inch, so it's toughness 4. So looking at 4s, and that does surprisingly wound, but no AP. So we're looking for a 2-up armor save, and the Custodian's fine. And then the flail guy has nothing. Then over here, we're going to see a long bomb charge, because why not? Ooh, with an 8. Does he get it? He does. So we're going to see him shuffle here, him shuffle here, him shuffle there. Okay. Then let's see if we can long bomb charge our good captain in with an 8. It does not. You know what? He will spend the command point to re-roll it. Because why not? And with a 6, he fails. So, we now have the Custody groups out of position. We will go ahead and fall in here. Now, are we within 3 inches for any heroics? Not that we want our dude to do any heroics. No, we're not. Which is fine, because we really don't want to do it with him. We're going to just pile in both of these. After a failed charge from our shield captain, it was a long bomb, but somehow these Custodians actually made it. They're going to fight into some Poxwalkers. And then these Custodians obviously made it into those Plague Marines. And we'll begin combat. Starting with combat. We will go ahead and start here because I'm not too worried about the Poxwalkers over there. So, each Custodian gets 3 attacks with their Sentinel Blades. Hitting on 2s No re-rolling ones. Holy cow, no ones. All hit. Then we are strength 5 versus toughness 5. So wounding on 4s. And we see another one. Lots of 2s and 3s though. So we've got 2 wounds. Now that's at -3. 3 up saves become 6 up saves. 2 6-up saves. No. First one does D3 damage. Does 3 damage, which turns to 2. Which means we will kill this melted dude because he's useless. Second one does 3 damage. We'll kill this guy, the Aspiring Champion, just because we want to keep the icon because that does mortal wounds and the flails has a better chance. Alright, not bad. We've seen some roughness on the case of the Custodians. Then over there, we're not going to see an interrupt for the Poxwalkers, hitting on 2s. So many 1s. 3 1s for the tracker. But the rest do hit. Wounding on 3s. So 2 more 1s for the tracker. Bringing us to our 3 6-ups. Nope. 3 Poxwalkers just get erased. Alright, time to hit back. We'll go ahead and start with the Plague Marines. We got one with the Plague Knife, and then the other one with the Plague Flail. We'll start with the Plague Knife. So he gets 2 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Both hit. Wounding on 4s because of the -1 to toughness. Do get a 1 to reroll because it's a plague weapon. And another 1. So, nothing from that. Then our Plague Flail hitting on 3s. We're good. Wounding on strength 5. So wounding on 3s. 2 more 1s. Luckily, plague weapon. Okay, all 4 do hit. So we're looking for 4 3-ups. Oh. We will see the Custodies player pop that command point to reroll this 1. And it's good. So they save all of that. Then we go into Poxwalkers. We're going to actually see the Death Guard spend 2 command points, leaving them with 0. It's going to be the Wrathful Dead. When they're selected to fight, the model that makes the attack can reroll the hit roll. And then Mutant Strain. Any unmodified hit roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound in addition to any normal damage. And an unmodified roll of 1 means a dead Poxwalker. So, we have, after piling in, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. He's in. He's in. He's in. He's in. He's in. He's in. And they're all in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 Poxwalkers. And they have 2 attacks each, so 30 attacks. So there's 5, 10. So we're just going to go ahead and do this in waves of 10. So first wave. And we are hitting on 4s. But we have 1, 2, 3 mortal wounds. Already. So there's a dead Custodies already in this first wave. Then we are going to re-roll this 1 for the tracker. Okay. So no more mortal wounds. So we'll go ahead and get a counter going. So we are at 3 mortal wounds so far. Wounding on strength 4 or strength 3. Their toughness 4. If I'm not correct. Yep, they've got contagions. So still wounding on 5s. And then these are improvised weapons, not plagues. But there's 2 more 1s for the tracker. Alright, we've got 4 2-up saves. Oh my god, 2 1s. Really? Well, with as many mortal wounds as we've got going on, we've got to try and save as many. So, Custodies is going to re-roll 1 of these. He's fine. So, 1 of these Custodies in wave 1 is already down to 2 wounds. Second wave. Two more mortal wounds so far. Wait. And we are going to re-roll all of these felled ones. That was 3 more 1s for the tracker. Alright. So, only 2 convert, but 2 more 1s kills off 2 more plague poxwalkers. So, we are now up to 5 mortal wounds. Wounding on a 5. 1 more wound, or 1 more 1 for the wound counter, or ed counter. So, 4 2-ups. Another 1 for the... Oh, man. So, this Custody is down to 1. And then we have our third wave of 10. So, 2 more at least so far. I'm going to re-roll all of these because there was only 1 4 in there. 2 more 1s, 3 more 1s. Means 3 more poxwalkers die. And then we end up with that. So we are now up to 7 mortal wounds. And I think that pretty much finishes them off. Yep, that does finish them off, but we'll see. Looking for 5s. Another 1 for the counter. 2-ups. Another 1 for the counter. So that killed this Custody. And then the 7 mortal wounds. Let's see what happens if they've got anything special. Oh, man. And they're not even close enough. Let's see for the remnant. Do they get to fight again? Nope. It has to be within a 6-inch. We only have 1 command point left. And that is it. Wow. Poxwalkers just stomped the hell out of this Custodies unit. Straight up said, you are no more. But it did cost them 2 command points. And that ends Custodies turn 1. Neither side gets any victory points because the Warlord didn't do anything, but he also didn't take any damage. So at the end of turn 1, the Shield Captain and Sister of Silence are out on their own. You've got this Custody group chewing on some Plague Marines, and then these Poxwalkers just utterly decimated a Custody squad with mortal wounds. It was insane. And now we go into the command phase of turn 2. So, Death Guard get 1 command point back. And then I am tempted to do the bring some Poxwalkers back. Oh wait, no, they did kill 3 guys. So at the end, so because they did kill 3 Custodians, they actually get to bring 3 guys back. Because now those poor Custodians, are plagued. So now it's really Death Guard turn 1. After a brutal turn 1 for Custodians, in fact, it felt more like a Death Guard turn. The Shield Captain and Sister Superior are left all alone after these Poxwalkers killed 3 Custodians and brought back 3 Poxwalkers they destroyed. These Custodians got some work done, but this has swung heavily into the Death Guard favor. So going into Death Guard turn 1, they get 1 command point back. They're not going to worry about bringing back any more Poxwalkers after getting 3 back. And that's it for command phase. We now go to movement. The end of the movement phase, we see the Poxwalkers, the Lord Virulent and Malignant Plaguecaster slowly moving in on that Shield Captain and Sister of Silence. And these 2 Death Guard just chill where they are at. We then start up the Psychic phase. So we're still within the envelope of the Sister. So we are going to go ahead and get Gift of Plagues off with an 11. Oh yeah, that goes off. So now the plague range of him goes from 3 inches to 9 inches, which pretty much now is the whole battlefield. Then we've got Smite, which goes off on a 5, which is what that is after that -1. So these Custodians take 3 mortal wounds. Now, because it is done in the Psychic phase, they have a 6-up, screw you, we're part of the Emperor. Another 1, but we do see 2 mortal wounds go through, and that takes out this poor Custodian here. For shooting, we don't have any pistols here, can't shoot there, so the only shooting we're going to get done is with the Blight Launcher. We got 5.5 inches. Just outside 5.5 inches. So we are going to be able to shoot at the Shield Captain. You know what? This is on video and it's against myself. We better make sure. So 5 3/4 without nudging. 5.5 with nudging. So these guys are closest. I need to look up the Lookout Sir rule. The poor guy can't shoot at that, so he has to shoot at the Sisters of Silence. And this is going to be some major overkill. With 8 shots, Hitting on 2s. Wow. We have 4 1s for the counter. Strength 5 versus toughness 2 because of the Gift of Plagues giving him that huge 9-inch bubble for his aura. So making that toughness 2, wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s, no need, -2. So we're looking for 5 up saves, and there are none. And another 1 for the counter. So this poor Sister Superior gets completely spewed on. All right, over here, there is nothing. So we then go into charge phase. So first things first, we will charge with our big guy here. He's going to charge into the shield captain with a 6. He's in. I don't think we're going to fire Overwatch with the shield captain. All right, Poxwalkers. 7. Oh yeah. So this guy can wrap around, and we will just get as many guys in there as possible. Alright, there we go. As many of them as possible. The Malignant Plague Caster is going to chill there. Need to double check. Alright, it's at the end of the movement phase. So, fortunately, we don't get to roll and see. So, charging units first. We will go ahead and see, since the Custodies can't interrupt, we're going to go ahead and try and give our good friend, the Lord Virulent, a chance to knock this guy out. Getting 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, 3s, because it's a power fist. Or do we want to use the Plague? Oh yeah, he's going to use the Plague Claw. Oh! And subtract 1. So yep, hitting on 3s. We do have a 1 and a 2, so we have 2 hits. Wounding on strength, insane. So wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s. No need. So we have 3 3-up saves. And he's fine. We figured we'd give it a shot. Okay, we are going to see Death Guard use the Mutant Strain again for 1 command point. This time we will probably see some Poxwalkers die because we don't have enough for re-roll. Actually, hold on. Can we re-roll hits on the 1 on these guys? Let's see. Nope, they are not. So they don't get to re-roll 1s, which is sad, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we got 22. So we'll do this in waves of 10 again. Hitting on 4s. We got 1, 2, automatic wounds. No 1s, surprisingly. Then wounding on 5s. We've got 2 wounds, 2 up. We are at 2 mortal wounds. There is that one. We are going to spend the last CP. And it comes to a 2. All right. Then we've got the second wave. And we'll actually add 1 to give it the 11. So, hitting on 4s, looking for those 6s. Surprisingly, no 6s. But we do lose 2 Poxwalkers. Wounding on 5s. Get 1 wound. 2 up. He's fine. So there are 2 mortal wounds. He gets a 6 up, feel no pain because of the restorative of the mission. None of them go through because I rolled snake eyes. Holy crap. All right, so that brings him down to 4 wounds. And they will score 10 victory points for this turn. It then goes to the Custodians to hit. So we'll start with the Shield Captain. He is going to put 3 attacks into the Poxwalkers just because that mortal wound stuff is dangerous. And he'll put 2 attacks into the Lord Virulent. So 2 attacks on the Lord Virulent. Hits both. Strength 5 versus toughness 5. So 4s. Wow, both wound. 4 up involved. Here we go. Gets 1, fells 1, does D3 damage, does 3 damage, which turns down to 2 because it's disgustingly resilient. And then it also gets, he is now at 4 wounds himself. Then we've got the 3 attacks going into the Poxwalkers. Can't re-roll that because of the new rules. 2 more ones. It does wound. And they fail. So this little Poxwalker here dies. Alright. Our 2 Plague Marines over here. Oh no. Now it's the Custodians' turn because they chose to attack that. So these guys here, that was stupid on my point. So 3 attacks, hitting on 2s. So many 1s, 2 1s to add on to the tally. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds, -3, so 6 ups. Nothing. First one. 2, which turns into 1 damage. Second one kills. You know what? We will go ahead and have it go out on the flail guy. That means it's the flail dude's turn. 2 attacks, or the icon dude, 2 attacks with the end of the plague knife. Wow, really? Snake eyes? Jesus. 2 more for the add 1 counter. And then we go into the end of the morale phase. They only lost 1, but he does have the icon. So, D6, they suffer on a 4-up, they suffer a mortal wound here. They do suffer a mortal wound. So, this Custody is down to 2. At the end of turn 2, we see the Shield Captain absolutely besieged. Blanket Plaguecaster is out on their own. We lost some Plague Marines, but we also saw some damage on the Custodians. We then go into Custodians turn 2. So they gain 1 command point back. That is it. Movement phase. That was awesome. Combat phase, or psychic phase. That was even more awesome. Now we go to charge phase. Holy crap, can this get any more awesome? Now we go into fight phase. Now this is the crazy thing about 9th edition. The person whose turn it is not actually gets to choose who fights first when there's no charging. So last turn we saw these guys charge in, so they got to fight first. And then when they were done, it got to go here. Then I should have been able to attack with the Plague Marines, but I screwed that up. So we are going to go with the Lord Virulent to try and get some damage in on there. So with 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, no, hitting on 3s. We get 3 hits, wounding on 2s. Oh wait, at the end of the movement phase. Sorry, we forgot something. End of movement phase. At the end of the movement phase with Shamble Rot, we are in turn 2, so it is a 9-inch. Because he got 6 inches plus 3. So unfortunately, he doesn't get to do it to this guy, but we do get to see some Shamble Rot on the Warlord. And then, so on a 5-up, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. And it is, oh no, 5 D3 mortal wounds. It is 1 mortal wound. Ooh, can we? He doesn't have any. So that brings this down to 3, unless the 6-up. No, and he was supposed to get. Oh no, he gets that at the end of his turn, the restorative. So he is down to 3. Double check on the restorative. So many things to check. Oh, at the start of each defender's turn. Sorry. So he would have gone up to 5. Now he's back down to 4. So 3 2-ups. Rerolling 1s because of Plague Weapon. Doesn't need it. 3 3-ups. Oh no. There is that 1. We're going to have to use the CP. Reroll that 2 into the 3. He gets it. So that is it for the Lord of Virulence. We'll go ahead and go over to these 2 Custodies. They do hit everything but 1. And then they do wound with 2. So 2 6-ups. Snake Eyes again. Wow. So these Custodies just outright smash that, and they will consolidate 3 inches towards the nearest unit. All right, Shield Captain. Getting 5 attacks. Hitting on 2s. I think he's going to split it again. The 3 into the Poxwalkers. Hitting everything. Wow, 2 1s. Add that. 6-up. Oh, and the Poxwalker stays. Oh, man. This Shield Captain. Poor Shield Captain. Going into Lord of Virulence. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. And absolutely whiffing it. At the end of turn 2, we do see the last Plague Marines over here die. We got the Malignant Plague Caster out in the open. The Lord Virulent was able to do 1 damage with his contagion, but after the guy had healed, it's just fine. Oh wait, we still have yet to have the Poxwalkers. Never mind. It is not the end of turn 2. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll do these in waves of 10. We do not have a command point, so we're just looking for 4s. With 2 more 1s. Looking for 5s. Nothing. Okay. So the Poxwalkers did nothing. And then for scoring, at the end of the battle round. Both sides get 10 points because he destroyed some models and he was wounded. So at the end of round 2, we see 10 points each. The end of Custodies turn 2. Shield Captain is having a hard time with all those Poxwalkers and the Lord Virulent, but his Custodians have finally gotten rid of the Plague Marines. It's now after the Malignant Plague Caster, and then we'll come and help. So at the start of turn 3, Death Guard get 1 command point back. We then go into the movement phase, which we will basically just see our good friend here shuffle out to over there. All right, end of movement phase. That was awesome. We then get to see, do we infect? On a 5-up we do. So our Shield Captain is now infected with the hemorrhaging disease cysts. And now we can, any hits with a plague weapon of a 6 automatically wound. So not much will help, but hey, at least he's infected now. All right, we then go into Psychic phase. We will do the Gift of Nurgle, or the Gift of Plagues. That does not go off, but that's fine. Everybody's pretty close in. Then we go into Smite. Smite does go off, doing D3 wounds for 3 wounds. Now, they are the Pride of the Emperor, so on a 6-up, Shield Captain ignores it. He does not, dropping him down to 1. Oh man, this is crazy. All right. We then go into the shooting phase. We will actually see, I think he moved to where he's outside of 6 inches. Let's double check. Oh no, he's in. So we will actually see a plague grenade get thrown out. D6 shots for 5. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, which is a good thing because we have even more 1s for the counter. So all of them hit. Now we are at strength 4 versus toughness 4 because they are definitely within the smelly rot range. So looking for 4s. We end up with 2, and it is a plague weapon. So we end up with 3, and it's just 2-ups. We do see 1 wound go in. So throwing a poison grenade actually does work. We see 1 damage there. All right. That then moves us into the fighting phase, which is fortunate because the Shield Captain gets to fight first. He is going to pour the 3 and 2. So 3 into the Poxwalkers. Hits everything. Wounding on 2s. Or wounding on 3s. Oh my god, 2 1s. More 1s for the 1 counter. 6 up. Yeah. So 1 Poxwalker dies. The 2 going into the Lord Virulent. They both hit. Wounding on a 4. Oh my god, he completely whiffs it. Another 1. And this is pretty much it, boys and girls. We will see them spend that command point. So we get 20 rolls. 6s are mortal wounds. 1s kill off Poxwalkers. And right there, we have the mortal wound. Let's see if he saves it. He does not, and that is it. That's unfortunate because Poxwalkers can't get experience, but they do die. The shield captain dies, and that ends the mission. And he was even infected. Going for the assured victory at the top of turn 3. The Poxwalkers came in after a smite does massive damage, finishes off the shield captain, and the 2 custodian guards left are seen running from the battlefield as the Death Guard prove the efficacy of the new hemorrhaging disease cyst. All right, and that's it. We'll go ahead and go into the aftermath. It is now time to see out of actions and march for greatness and whatnot. So, for the Custodies, we've decided the second squad is marked for greatness because they survived and they killed some Plague Marines. Then we'll be rolling for out of action for the first squad, the Sisters and the Shield Captain. Over here, even though they died, we marked them for greatness because we want to see these guys get bigger and badder. But that might come into an issue later on if they're completely taken out. All right, so for out of action rolls, we'll roll for our Shield Captain first. 3, he's fine. Our Sisters. 4, they're fine. The first squad. 2, oh, that was close. They're fine. And coming over here, these Plague Marines. 4, they're fine. The end of the Crusade battle between the Custodies and the Death Guard. The Custodies lost the battle, but they still get to count that. They're up to 3 requisition points. Shield Captain Arturus. He's got 1 battle won, 0 survived. Surprisingly, with everything he did not kill any units. So he does get 1 experience, and then his notes of failure is he fell to a swarm of Poxwalkers. I mean, there was other stuff, but really the last thing he saw was Poxwalkers. The first of Arturus. They fought a battle, they didn't survive, and they've got 1 experience, and then they fell to Poxwalkers too. The second of Arturus, they actually survived the battle, and they fought it. They did destroy a unit with 1 melee, and because they were marked for greatness, we've gone ahead and put that there too. We need to actually add some stuff for marked for greatness, but hey, there we go. The Sister Prosecutors didn't fight, but the Sister Vigilators did. They fought 1 battle, they survived 0 battles, and they're up to 1 experience. Switching over to the Virus Plague, we've got that correction now. They fought in 1 battle, they've won 1 battle, because they fulfilled the agenda of killing the highest power level, which was the Warlord in that battle. They gained 1 Virulent point. I'm going to see what we can do with that, but it will probably end up changing a little bit of our custom plague. Oh, it's not Virus Plague. We'll go ahead and change that. It's Ignis Plague. So Ignis the Worm, he did fight, he survived, he did destroy, put the final blow on the Sisters of Silence, so we'll give that to him, and he gets 1 experience. The Malignant Plague Caster survived, gets 1 experience, didn't do anything special from there. He did carry a lot with that final smite. Full Goyle Squad, they fought, they did not survive, but we did end up giving them the mark for greatness on that one because I kind of want to see what happens with that squad as they get battle honors and stuff like that. And then our first Pox, the guys that just straight up carried this battle. They fought, they killed 2 units with melee weapons, being the first squad of Custodian Guards and then the Shield Captain. Unfortunately, because they are a horde, they don't get to gain any experience or do anything special. So the end of that agenda ended up being wasted. Those 3 experience points we didn't get to collect. And that is it for this battle. So I hope you've enjoyed. This was a battle against myself, but I was really excited to throw it down, so figured why not record it and start tracking it. Till next time.